In today's video, I attempt to fish the weeds like a pro. The results will not disappoint you. Stay tuned to the end to see what all happens, and let's get on with the video. All right, got the frog. All right, we're gonna go ahead, start moving deeper into these weeds and throw this frog around a little more. I wanted to do something a little different, maybe locate some fish in these weeds. Been wanting to get on some of them guys, but it's just so hard to fish it. You really got to know what to use and when to use it. Figured we'd start off with the frog. I'm sure we might mix it up a little bit. Might get to it, we'll try if we have enough time. It was already 8 o'clock when I got out here. Probably won't be able to be out here for too long. The good thing about topwater and frogs, if you're using topwater, you can draw a fish anywhere from 15 feet down and 15 feet left and right. So as long as I can get somewhat of a hit, I'll know they're in this general area and I can start switching my bait up. Trying to run it through here quick so I can cover a good amount of water and move on, so I'm not wasting too much time in one spot. Move on from there. A little bit more shadow through here. They're gonna be trying to hide in that shadow and not really be too much in the sun right now. All right, let's try moving on to the little something else real quick. Maybe they just don't want the frog. Looking pretty promising through here. Looks like we got some more weed lines. There's like a wall of weeds, and that's kind of what I'm trying to find. Like a wall of weeds and then open water. They sit on the edge of drop-offs and they kind of wait for fish to come around. I need to rig something up that'll punch right through these weeds, but I don't have much right now to rig up for that exact scenario. Especially late summer, these fish are just buried in these weeds most of the time. So I'd like to get in there if I could. I don't think we're too deep right here yet. I think it's still fairly shallow. I want to get into the deeper stuff here. All these thick, heavy cover. This is what we're looking for. All right, that's gonna do it for tonight. We're gonna go load up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. That's the sketchiest launch ever, I swear. First thing we're gonna be using this crawl with a little weight up here. If you're gonna be punching through weeds, you definitely want something bigger than this. This is all I got at the moment. We're trying to get up towards all these grass mats over here, but I think we're gonna start here and kind of work our way up. I know there's mats up there somewhere. These are mostly pads, but we're gonna find the mats once we get further that way. Now, I'm not running this on the best setup. If you're punching weeds, heavy weeds especially, you definitely want a bigger rig, like 40, 50 pound braid. Somewhere in there. The highest I got right now is 25, but we're not using that. We actually got the jig on that rod, so we're gonna actually throw the jig as well once we get done using this. I'm just kind of trying to crawl it across the bottom a little bit, not really do too much with it. Definitely need a heavier weight, but we might be able to do something with this one. We're not really in the thick stuff yet anyway, so I ain't too worried about how well this is gonna do. I'm just kind of gonna cast all over. Let's go ahead and move up. Try and get on these mats a little more. All right, this ain't exactly where I want to be either, but like I said, we're kind of just stopping and going, trying some spots here and there. We're gonna give this a break. Let's go ahead and toss that jig around a little bit. All right, we're running this jig with this crawl on there. I need to get some more little 4-inch crawls there, but do not have any at the moment. We're gonna move up, because I really need to get into these mats a little more. And actually, I need to find the mats first, because I think most of these, like 90% of this right here is lily pads. But I know there's mats out there somewhere. I remember seeing them, so we're gonna go look for some of those. Found a very small section of mats, which we're gonna just throw in there anyways and see what happens. All right, found a little bit of structure right here, so there might be something hiding down in there for us. Don't tell me we're caught on that. Ooh, he's on. Tighten this. Look at that. He ain't the biggest, but we found him. Let's go. Oh, shit, bud. That wasn't good. Not looking good for me right now. There he is. Got him on the jig. All right, we found that little bit of structure that I've been looking for. So I dropped the jig down in there. This guy hammered it. There he goes. All right, that's literally the only piece of little structure type thing that I've even found out here. We're gonna go ahead and move around a little bit, so let's go do that. I think we're gonna try the edge of these lily pads right here. We're gonna go back to the half-ass punch rig. It's not the best punch rig you'll ever see. This right here is the reason you want a bigger weight, because as soon as I drop this down in here, you see how it just kind of sits on the water right there? It's not really wanting to punch through this stuff, or else you're just gonna cast out there and it's gonna sit right on top of the grass and not even go in. When you can manage to find these mats too, it gives a lot of oxygen. So a lot of these mats give these fish a lot of oxygen, and that's kind of why they hang out in there, because there's more oxygen, I guess you can say. Ooh, we might get on. Oh, we're on. See what I mean about braided line? This is right here is exactly why you want braided line. This fish has got me drugged down all the way to the bottom, wrapped in seaweed right now. He might have got off. Yeah, he'd come off. Dang. Well, I'm gonna take that knowledge and I'm gonna come up through here. I think I'm gonna flip around in here a little bit. I don't want to go too far with that. I really don't know why I chose this pole with probably the lightest line on there. Ooh, there he is. Let's go. Dude, he grabbed that so fast. I wasn't even ready for that. Once again, not the biggest fish, but now we're starting to kind of figure out where they're at. Got them on the old crawl. These punch rigs and these weeds, it's the way to go. All right, looks like he split our thing pretty good, but I'm gonna try and do a couple more casts with it. Ain't looking like it's gonna work. Let's go ahead and rig another one of these up. This dude split our thing right down the middle. So let's grab another one of these. Actually, you know what? Instead of rigging another one of them guys up, let's go ahead and toss this jig around a little bit more again. All right, y'all, just made it back to the truck, loaded up the kayaks. Just trying to fish the weeds a little more. Definitely gonna get back out here tomorrow when the sun's still shining. We got a really late start getting out here. We're definitely gonna come back out here when the sun's still shining, get an earlier start. So I will see you guys tomorrow, sometime in the afternoon. See you then. It is currently the next day. There's a 95% chance of a storm, and it's rolling in within the next hour. So we got to get out there, and we got to get out there fast. All right, just made it to the lake. It is a little bit windier than I'd like it to be. I think we can deal with that. All right, made it out here. All right, starting with the somewhat of a punch rig. We're gonna try this guy. Got him set up weedless. So see if we can't get on anything close. Wind's definitely not helping with this. All right, we're gonna try right here. Not a lot of cover going on, but seeing some bait fish coming through here. Missed the hookup, but I watched him take that one. He's just a small little guy. He smashed that. First, I just kind of seen the flash of him in the water, and then I thought it was just like a small fish, really small, like bluegill or something trying to mess with me, but ended up being him. Right there is the reason I don't care for fishing with strictly soft plastics like this, like just them by themselves. Trailers, yeah. As far as these, no. And it could also just be the soft plastic itself, but he already ripped my leg off there. All right, just did a short cast out in front of us. I'm curious if there's anything hiding right through here. Oh, I'm not liking the change of the air right now. You can definitely tell it's gonna do something. I hope I do not get stormed on. really mean to cast that far away from it, but we'll come up kind of from the bank and see if anything happens. Alright, found another little opening. We're just kind of casting at this point. Just random spots. Alright, I keep seeing, like, I'll take 2 paddles and then I'll see a fish just go down in the water right next to me. So I think we're going to try in here, because they're literally scattered all over this place, but every time I cast for them, they don't want nothing to do with me. Alright guys, we're going to start making our way back towards the truck. It's getting just super windy out here. Alright, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.